All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. You are with HAPI Talks, and you are joining us live for a discussion on Black health and wellness. I'm your host, Elena, and we are joined by none other than Supanova Slom. He is the internationally recognized holistic health practitioner and activist. He's the wellness coach to such acts as Erica Badu, Common, and Andre 3000. He's the author of The Remedy, the 5-week power plan to detox the body, combat fat, and rebuild mind and body. He is also the son of internationally renowned queen mother of Fua, and he is the entrepreneur of his holistic superfood brand, Super Mega Foods. And he is our guest today. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us. How are you?
Wellness salute, all is well. How are you, beloved?
Good, 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 good. Wonderful. So let's start off by talking about you. So we know your origin, we know your resume, but not many folks know your path, your walk, what led you to come to this point today, where you are the activist, you are the coach, and where you made this your life's work. So tell us a little bit more about that.
I got activated as a wellness warrior. I'm a wellness warrior. It's a difference in the chamber of wellness, because my stance is I recognize that our people have been under attack between the education of poor health habits and choices and not really knowing what's going on. Then the pandemic is making them on the front lines of being attacked. So I'm a warrior of wellness. And so the information that I share and give is not for a smoothie or a shake, or if you're just trying to lose 10 pounds to get some abs. My approach is to go deeper. So being vegan is basic training. Okay, plant-based for me, because I was born and raised vegan. I'm 43 years vegan, my whole life. My mother, Queen of Fua, birthed me as that. Her and my father, before they had me, they were vegans. So I was conceived in an environment. And so she's my wellness hero. She's real nice and fluffy and soft these days, but growing up in the 80s, raising us, it was very hard. She had to be very strong. She was a warrior herself. To not have the medical establishment inoculate us. And I'm fighting all family on my father and mother's side because they wanted to feed us toxic processed foods. So all I know is fighting as far as plant-based and vegan. I don't really know nothing else. My mother was Whole Foods before Whole Foods. So I don't really have the algorithm digital approach. Everybody has a nice spread in their kitchen and let's go vegan now. I have a different approach, because I was doing that when they was on quarter waters and government cheese. So it's a different thinking. Okay, when you were in school fighting and kids is trying to jump you because you eat your snacks and sprout sandwiches and fruits and vegetables. Okay, so I had to fight my whole life. So I'm a wellness warrior. All right. But even in that journey, I had my own rebellion from it. You get older, you start to, want to do some other stuff that will see if you're about that life you say you're about. So I started to rebel and tried to eat some processed foods and stuff, and had skin breaking out and all types of addictions to processed white sugar crack. And and then I got tired of being sick and tired at a very young teenage age. So I remember my mother giving me all the chlorophyll foods, and how the chlorophyll plant proteins from the sea and the land, the alfalfa, dandelion, chlorella, spirulina, wheatgrass, they restore the oxygen integrity to the bloodstream, into the brain. And so it's also good for cutting addictions. And so I wanted to cut my own addictions. And one day, I was about 15 years old, I took a gallon of water and I went to the local health food store. I was down south at that time because my mother sent me down south because I was gang banging and doing some wild shit in the street. Sent my ass down south to reflect with the family. So now I don't have her with me. I got to Heal Thyself, which was her book at the time in the early 90s. And then I had to apply the same principles that she was teaching about for my own self. And so I took a gallon of water. I took a half a pound of each of the ones I just mentioned, the alfalfa, dandelion, the chlorella, spirulina. And I mixed them up in a gallon, and I started sipping on it for about 7 days. My addiction to the sugar, processed sugar, was away. Skin cleared up, and at that point, I hit something. I realized that for me to be a vegan or vegetarian, that wasn't really how I keep my addiction. What I did was I had concentrated chlorophyll proteins, and that's what restored me. That's what actually detoxed me. That's what actually got me quickly back into the integrity of being alkaline. So at that point, I came back and told my mom once I healed myself. I said, "Mom, I healed myself." She said, "You did?" I said, "Yeah, I'm a chlorophyllian." "What's a chlorophyllian?" "Well, I eat 70% to 100% of chlorophyllic foods." In her 2000 edition of Heal Thyself book, she talks about my story and how I became a chlorophyllian, for those that have that book. And from that point on, because I healed my own self outside of my mother's upbringing, I became a minister of wellness. I really started taking it on because, at that point, juxtapose, I was a hip hop artist at a young age, and musician at a young age. And so I was always already in the cultural art world. And a lot of the artists would ask me, because everywhere I went after that, I would carry this gallon of greens with me. This is before, Whole Foods started. You can get the chlorophyll in the bottle. I carry it around. This is before you can actually do that. So this is the 90s now. And people kept asking me, why are you doing that? So I just shared with my testimony, why I did it, what I was going through. Even though I was vegan, I was addicted to the sweets, and that, I was sneaking eating junk, and I overcame it. I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. So everybody has to have their personal crossroads with enough is enough,
Yeah.
and that was mine. Even though I had the benefit of being raised by her, it came back to me for me to take it on for myself. So at that point, I just got fired up about just sharing my testimonies with others, being a hip hop artist and seeing a lot of artists that had health disparities early on. A lot of the artists and street folks that I knew, regardless how the exterior showed up, they were all of them had asthma. Some would die obese. Some would die. A lot were diabetic. A lot had arthritis, and they were young. They're my age and younger, and some older. And so I said, okay, well, I was raised with this knowledge and these elders around me with holistic health, and I know a lot about it. And then I also recently healed my own self against the sugar crack. I know that's a gateway legal drug that once you get in that sugar addiction, that opens up the immunity to really be susceptible to everything, So if you can address the sugar, the processed sugar, and get the greens and have more water daily, you can start to reintegrate the integrity of your immune system. Long story short, it brought me into, and I talk a lot for those that really want to, because I want to engage other questions. But if you want to know more about the story in detail, y'all can download my book for free, theremedybook.com. I'm offering it for a limited time for everybody to download it. For those that don't know, I'm a best-selling published author. The first hip hop artist to do a book detailed on holistic health, giving people a detailed dietary transitional matrix on how to use holistic medicine and nature to heal yourself, especially for our generation. So you can download for free. You can hear more of my testimony in there. But
and that's theremedybook.com.
Theremedybook.com. So that pretty much brought me into these different circles of artists that, like Erykah Badu. I consider her a spiritual sister. I met her before Baduism came out. She was in New York. She had a record deal with Universal, but she didn't tell us. And I met her, ironically, alignment. I was performing, and she was in the audience, and she came up to me after my performance. I didn't know who she was. Her energy was powerful though, and we just immediately bonded. And we started kicking it. And she was telling me, she was a vegan, and she was into the metaphysics and stuff. And again, I didn't know who she was at that point because she was Erykah Wright. She wasn't Erykah Badu yet, So, but what bonded us was that she was an amazing artist. She was beautiful, and then she also recently, applied the holistic teachings of my mother through Heal Thyself. She said that's the book that her and a lot of her young college, girlfriends and brothers used to really help them. So we just bonded on the holistic wellness platform. And, we would just, I brought her home to meet moms and pops, Mom, Queen of Fu and Baba Heru. And they bonded. And so we just became a family. She became our sister, and we was with each other every day until she finally let us know that she has an album coming out, And and that happened to be Baduism. It just was like, wow, you know. But by that, we was already bonded and tight. And then she said, you know, brother, I want you to come on the road with me. I want you to be my holistic, you know, practitioner for me, you know, on the road. So I was like, wow, okay. I was in school studying business management, 2 years already, and I was like, oh, yeah, this is what I really want to do. Even though I was into business anyway, I was an artist, and I wanted to also use my wellness ministry to help others. And I figured that if I'm rocking with my sister Badu, you know, I can help her and maybe, you know, help others along the way. You know what I'm saying? And just get that wellness ministry happening. And this is really early on when nobody's really was healing in our generation, healing holistic health. Besides, unless you were woke, certain pockets of us already knew, but not the masses like now, which is much more acceptable, right? So, but right when Badu told me to come on the road, her and Dre hooked up, Andre 3000, and that's when she got pregnant. You know, she was pregnant around that time when the album first came out, and then she really wanted me to go on the road now because, you know, she was like, you know, she was having this amazing baby, and, you know, her and Dre were bonding tight. And she was like, bro, you know, we got to get this wellness. I need my wellness on point. So she took me all around the world with her, you know, and traveled with her. Dre was with Outkast at the time. They, you know, we had some tours with them, but, you know, I pack up the juicer, you know, everywhere I went, I pack up that juicer. And every town I went to, I make sure I found a farmer's market for her, you know, farmer's market, you know, and sometimes they had, big cities had, you know, restaurants and whole food, like health food stores. But for the most part, you know, I pack up all the herbs and the tinctures, you know what I'm saying? And Badu was really, you know, she's kind of like me with that, like that. She arms herself with her tinctures and her stuff. So we had that type of twinship of always having our remedies with us, you know? So she was always being nourished, you know, every time we land into a city or a venue that, you know, folks would speak to me about, you know, what Badu needs, or speak to Nova, and I'll tell them, you know, what she needs and stuff. And so it was just a really amazing journey. I met all types of amazing, you can imagine, artists on that journey because, you know, me and her walking around with the chlorophyll and, you know, so it just only magnified the questions. So that you know, so I definitely salute Badu for, you know, giving me the opportunity, you know, to take this excitement to want to be a holistic, you know, medicine man for my generation. You know, I remember one time we were somewhere in New York, some studio in New York, in Sony's studio, I think it was, and Busta Rhymes and Split Star was there, and she was like, "Nova, give Busta and Split some green juice." You know, so I had the juice there. I was juicing it up for them, and Busta was like, "This when Busta was at his height. You know, he was really in his height of being Busta Rhymes. He was like, "Oh man, I feel like I'm alive." He said, He said, "You're the hip hop's medicine man." He's the first one that said it.
Okay.
Said it, and I said, "Yeah, I am the hip hop's medicine man," because I kept doing this everywhere I went. Yeah. And so, but I kind of kept it, and I said, "Yeah, I am that." But then other folks would say it, and didn't even speak to him. They just be saying, "Yeah, you the medicine man, you the medicine man." And so I just owned it. I said, "My generation, I'm the hip hop's medicine man," and then so you know, I was able to travel with Badu for 2 years. You know, met Common, all fam, you know, Common, and you know, bonded with him and Deb Prez and all types of brothers and sisters that were already had some type of knowledge of self and were into some form of holistic wellness. That culminated with you know, one of the Tahuti film, you know, big homies, C. Kufu, Robert Gay. He was one of my initial partners with me and my mother. We produced my first film called Holistic Wellness for the Hip Hop Generation in 2003. So that's how long we've been doing this, you know? And so, you know, Mr. Gay and his family, you know, were just bonded with us at a high level. And that's, you know, rest in peace with his father. His father believed in us, you know what I mean? Believed in him and believed in us, you know, to really get, I mean, we had this on VHS. That's how far back. And we went, me and mom, you know, mom split up the money and we go dip this film about holistic health and wellness. And we did it, you know, we interviewed Badu, we interviewed Common. I think he had his Electric Circus album at the time. Just to give you context of what timeline it was. Erica had Worldwide Underground going on. So about 2003, 2004. Dad Prez and other notables. My father, Baba Heru, Sanak Rasamar, Sepata, he was in there. And many other, you know, notable people at the time. Dr. Lela Africa, rest in peace, who just made this transition. Another pioneer in holistic health. So we, you know, this is 2003, 2004. We really wanted to get the word out on holistic wellness. You know, it was an early call, of course. But what fired me up is, at from that point, when the film was out, Big Punisher already died of obesity, you know. And Brother Poetic from Gravediggers, who was a Wu-Tang Clan affiliate, he already died of colon cancer. So I was already seeing how, the diet was playing into the role of the hip hop artist. I mean, you're traveling all the time. I mean, my first experience again was on the road with Badu, so I saw the pace we moving city to city, moving. And if you don't set up a disciplined matrix for yourself to nurture yourself, you can, and you're constantly in service of others, you can be in a deficit, and I saw it, and so I'm blessed that I was there with Badu. Even when I left, shout out to my brother Chris Nobles. His name is Revolution, Christopher Nobles. I at that point I just was done with the road. I said, okay, sis, I can't do another. She was gearing up for Mama's Gun. I said, I can't. I love you. I tap out. So Revolution, who was my close brother, he came on and he continued for the next few years. So we had a circle of brothers and sisters that just already, so. Anyway, so I'm glad I tapped out because I was able to do the film, with Brother Seed, and my mother, Queen of Four. And again, we did that, and then that led into us getting a small distribution deal for the DVD, because we were already moving mom and pop with the VHSs, and mom had the synth at the time, Smile Child, We Heal Thyself, with my father Barbara Heru, and so we just show the film and do screenings and just kind of get the message out. But when we did the 2004, though, when we did the DVD, it was the first time, because at the point, I'm an independent artist, just doing my stuff as I do it, I have my affiliations, but I'm just doing what I do. That was the first time I actually saw the impact of, having the celebrity family support the work and the message, because that film, at the time with DVDs, people buying physical DVDs, we sold about maybe 150 to 250 DVDs through that company. So a lot of people globally, at that time got to see the film and connect with the message, and so now at that point, as a medicine man, the energy's moving forward. Mom is trying to stay on me to write my book. I was writing off and on for years, didn't really know my approach. I was learning, experiencing, I was doing screenings at different high schools and I'm partnering in different principals that, want to give me a little budget. I'll do little juicing programs at different high schools and middle schools. So I was just using the film to just galvanize and learning about, this wellness movement in real time, what worked, what didn't work, how I had to really tighten my message for a specific demographic, because I knew my demographic wasn't really my mother's generation, although I'm honoring them, and it wasn't really the conscious generation. I wasn't really trying to get into the conscious crew, because I'm from the consciousness and from the streets. I had both. So my whole thing was, how can I use the platform of my message, because I come from a conscious woke family, but also my target was a code called N words and B words. So that's what I was trying to really get to. I was really trying to, get the message to those brothers and sisters who identify themselves as those letters at the time, right? So, again, we moving forward, we put a soundtrack together, to support the film. The first soundtrack in hip hop that just had strictly songs based on holistic health, like top to bottom, all about holistic wellness. So we did that, and at that time, the only songs you had was "Get Healthy" by Dead Prez, which was one song, and "Beef" from KRS One from '89, '90. Boogie Down Productions was only one song. So at that point, we did a whole album on holistic health, drugs masquerading as foods, inspired by the book by Suzar, talking about processed foods in the corporate industry and how they use foods to manipulate us and flavoring. And so I went into that matrix. We talk about sugar crack. I talk about my journey with the processed white sugar crack, and how that's the legal drug and everything. So, songs like that, just to really utilize the message and just, again, reach. That boy.
You still there?
Hello?
We got you. You're back.
Hello?
You can continue on. Can you see us and hear us? Can you see us?
Can you hear me?
I can.
I can't hear you, sis.
You can't hear me?
Should I hang up and call back in? You want me to leave and call back in?
Continue.
You want me to leave? Because I can't hear you.
You can't hear me.
She may have to.
Mic check.
Okay. Let me see.
Mic check. Peace. Hello, hello. Check, check.
Okay, we're back.
Okay,
You see me?
okay.
So you were able to
I
see
can hear
me
you. You're
before,
great.
but you weren't able to hear me before.
No, I couldn't hear you. You're good. You're good. Okay. Yes, sis.
All
All
right,
right.
sorry about that technical difficulty. But
Yeah, yeah. So,
you talked about a lot that we have to unpack. You talked about a lot. You
well,
gave
I'm trying because you asked me. I mean,
yeah.
it's can't and respect. So this is two ways that I interview, right? When I interview, I give like a little and I go right into the case at hand. But when people start asking about my life, how it started, that it's so much, right? And you can't. I'm trying to to get to know me. It's a lot. It's a
But
lot to the
okay.
story, and I was trying to just take you in a little bit of ladder climb line to get to here. But let me accelerate it. Basically, all of that led into, because I know you have a specific thing you want to hit me with questions. All of that led into specifically moving from, the awakening of self, healing myself, even though I was born in it, took me to, parts of the music business and utilizing my talents to align with others. And that culminated with me, being blessed to have a published book called The Remedy.
Yes.
And to have a big corporation, at the time, as an independent artist, you always want some type of corporate backing just to support you to get your message on a bigger level. So I didn't have at the time, I didn't have the blessing to have that with my music, but I had it with my literary work with holistic health. And so it was a big deal. And that, from the releasing of the book in 2009, and really reaching a really broad audience and becoming a best-selling author because of the holistic work, that led into me founding my company with my brother Ali, the great Queen of Food's second son, and my cousin Chris Kazi Rowe, and we formed Super Mega Foods, and we have our own plant-based supplement company, putting out organic, non-GMO, plant-based foods for now COVID-19, right? Respiratory and immune system functionality, eating whole food. So, it just being led to that whole journey, you know what I'm saying? It's a long journey. I'm excited about it. And I gladly wear the title as hip hop's medicine man, but now even more so often, I call myself a wellness warrior. And I want to enlist brothers and sisters to be wellness warriors, because we are at war and we've been at war for some time, but we have to now approach the value of ourselves and our quality of life with an urgency. So as we deploy back into life and interact with each other and our work and our responsibilities, we must bring ourselves to this. See what happened with COVID-19. I'm trying not to curse because I get hyped up when I curse. It's all good. I'm trying to be respectful to the platform, because my people know I get fiery. Because this pisses me off when we don't love ourselves. I'm real passionate about it. But let me be in the balance. So what happened with COVID-19 was we were so useless with always putting ourselves last. Well, I don't got time to make juices. I don't got time to eat right. Because of my kids, because of my work. I'm in school. I'm traveling. I can't find nothing.
The cost.
All of these years of neglect. COVID-19 comes in, kicking the door, punching us in the face globally. We all have to sit down, right? Now, when we sitting down, we have already had a culmination of not valuing ourselves in a deficit. So when it starts to knock at our door, some of our relatives, elders, and folks in the mid-age is getting taken out, because now the virus is mutating with the pre-existing condition, accelerating the demise. Right. So it's linking with your asthma, your arthritis, your hypertension, your lack of immune system functionality, and it's building up this monster inside you, taking you out. So no, you can't play with your health and wellness. You can't drink water the same way. You can't eat your whole foods, your plant-based foods the same way. Okay, you can't have your tinctures and your extracts the same way, because if you do, you're not going to get no result, and you're going to leave yourself wide open for immune system takeover, not only in the coming months when it seems to be clear, but every pandemic comes in waves. Okay, so and if it doesn't pass, it's going to be something else. So this is the wake-up call, and I'm here to tell brothers and sisters, you have to approach your health and wellness with an urgency, because this is a global wake-up call. And our people, because we on the front line raising our hands with health disparities, we've been on the clock with it. And so we have to really be proactive with our health and wellness first. then we can be in a space to have interactions and value everything outside of us. We have to build ourselves up. And so I'm here today and I'm grateful to be invited to, like my mother always talks about, having your home be, your place of rejuvenation. And she speaks about making your kitchen healing laboratory. So you have to now, a lot of y'all have been, and if you're not, some people have had some type of extracts, teas, gingers, some type of something. You got to empty out your cabinet, put everything on the counter. Look at what you've been accumulating. Most of you have been going to the health food stores and buying sea moss and buying this and buying that, and use it sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But take everything out, look at it, and leave it on the counter. Don't put it back in the cabinet. Leave it out so your ass can see it. Every time you go past the kitchen, leave everything out. Put it neatly. I call it line up your soldiers or your brigade. Now listen, the whole ethos of it is no excuse wellness. And I got that because I'm a combat veteran. I served in a combat capacity in Afghanistan. When I was an active duty soldier, I never once compromised my vegan plant-based lifestyle because I was enlisted. So I don't know what people's talking about because they're too busy. They can't eat right. They can't drink water. If I did that doing basic training while living in garrison and in deployment and after coming back, then none of you have no excuses.
All right. So to your point, what are some of the things that folks, you go to the supermarket now, there are limited quantities. Let me try to see if I still hear that echo. Let me see if these headphones help. But
limited quantities of what, beloved?
Yeah. So you see, when you go on the supermarket, you see some things that are off the shelf. They're just empty.
Okay.
You see some things, you see the signs where there's restrictions on what you can get, like on the canned goods, or like the things that'll stick to your ribs when it's heavy, like the rice. What you don't see these signs for is in the produce section.
Okay.
You don't see people running to the produce. So what are we getting wrong when we're going during this time, COVID-19? What are we getting wrong when we're going to the supermarket? What should we be focusing on when we go?
Well, you should focus on what you just said. the produce section is abundant.
Right. It is.
And that's what you'll be focusing on during this time. Okay, now let's get into, so now we're president. I'm pretty sure after 30 minutes, y'all know a little bit more about me. So we can go right into the main understanding. I brought up the military to let you know it's no excuses. Okay, and why we have to be wellness warriors. No excuses. I'm not going to engage with no excuses. So with that being said, COVID-19 coronavirus. Now, you've already been sick. So let's don't act like it's a brand new thing. What happened was the coronavirus craze and the energy is just now putting focus to our collective neglect of how much we've been neglecting ourselves. So even if you don't necessarily are not coughing and wheezing and have the simple signs and symptoms, this thing is a global wake-up call because we've already been sick. Now, what does coronavirus do? It goes into the system. It actually strips the iron out of the bloodstream. It's doing a tri-function. It's a smart, intelligent virus. So it's taking the iron from your blood. So you're jacked up over there. Okay. So even if you ain't got no pre-existing condition, that's already a flag. Then its next function is your respiratory, your breathing. So if you have bronchitis or asthma, well, that's going to trigger that, right? It's going to celebrate that. And what's the next function it is doing? Attacking your immune system, which is your defense of everything. Right? So immune system, it will be tested, right? The thing about your immune system, it has to have enough daily strength to allow you to have at least 24 to 72 hours of recovery. So usually if you have a strong immune system, you're a healthy person, if you get some type of viral something, you can recover quicker within a few days, or maybe even a week or so, depending upon the level of your immunity, right? And get back in the game. Most humans on a shared scale have compromised immune systems because of the processed foods and the choices, right? So the reason why the produce section, so now you know the COVID-19's agenda, right? And now the other thing is education. So people are, okay, we live in a country, beloved, where the president is making a sarcastic joke about disinfect and eating Lysol pods and Lysol, and right? So that's just, the consciousness we in. Okay, so let's the first thing you have to address is your thinking. That's what, remember I said about wellness warriors, we have to change the thinking, our approach to water. So let's talk about the first thing. I'm trying to load up this document because I have a list that I want to share with you all of things that you can be getting right now or
Awesome.
deploying.
Yes, please share.
But it's taking a moment to load. But anyway,
Okay.
in a
Okay.
minute, I can go off the cuff because I know what I'm talking about. Water. Your body is 70% water. Make a new commitment with water. Most people are not hydrated, even so-called vegan vegetarians. They have not been. And the problem is water. If your skin is ashy, but I'm vegan. Your hair falling out, but I'm vegan. Like I said, it's not enough. That's basic training. You're deployed in real life now. You went to basic training. You got the basics. So now you're active duty. Water. 70% water is in your body. The planet is a water planet. If you don't have water, you have problems. So people have to, and I'm not talking about flavored water. We'll get into how you can use water in this as a base. We talk about lemon, limes, and using, cayenne and ginger as a tea. Let's talk about water first with no flavors, because why everybody want to flavor it? You know why? Because they're addicted to sugar.
Yeah.
That's it. Sweet. So the reason why water is important is because that's the first line of immune functionality. Okay? Your cells and all your systems actually all need the water to be at its optimum functionality. Your kidneys, your liver, your intestines. So the more water you have, not only is your immune system at a high level to defend you, but everything holistically, meaning everything working in tandem for your greater good, is working at a high level functionality to keep you running at optimum speed daily. Now, the key word is daily. So now you can't say I drank a few glasses of water today and next 3 days I forgot. So you forgot yourself. Water is you. So the problem is, again, we don't value ourselves and we keep forgetting ourselves. We put ourselves last.
Yeah.
So when coronavirus comes and knocks on our door, well, purify or die. What you gonna do, right? So water. You have to commit to drinking at least a gallon of water from a.m. when you wake up to p.m. before you rest. Between 8 ounces, 16 ounces, or 32 ounces every hour. Okay? You have to find a way to make your regimen. And again, I talk more about this. If y'all need more guideline besides reflecting on this live here, you can log on to theremedybook.com and check out my water protocol and what I recommend. But you have to begin to commit to that. Just make it a daily rhythm. And so another way you can do it psychologically, because some people are so far from the water libation. It's exactly that, a libation. We pour libation for our elders, our ancestors, the people that passed. But now you're the living one. You have to pour libation into you. Because you setting up the altar for the elders and you dehydrated, wasting water. It don't mean nothing for them, because they're moving through you. They're living through you. They're not in the body no more. You are. So how you gonna have them come through you and be inspired and you dehydrated? You ain't got nothing happening to them. So if you're pouring for your elders, pour for you too. How about that? Pour some inside you. Right? So commit to that daily water. Now, immediately, I would tell you, if we're going to go into, I have a few different tinctures out here. Now, some people, I'm going to go into a bunch of different extracts you can get immediately. This is called an immediate thing. Now, some people are used to having teas and herbs loose or in a bag form. I'm just going to give you the download. You can do what you feel you need to do, but I'm going to run over some tinctures because this is how I look at it. There's a lot of things to activate, right? And sometimes it can be overwhelming of what to do first. So what I usually do, I'm gonna share what I do. You can modify it for you. I make a pot of tea, a huge pot of tea. Okay, and the base is ginger. Now, for those that are allergic to ginger or can't really do it with ginger right now, you swipe ginger out with a lemon or lime, or lemon and lime. Okay, but I'll add ginger and I'll put a lime and lemon inside of the tea. Okay. So what I'm now going to do is called the wellness stack, right? So we know ginger already is helping the circulatory system and the digestive system immediately. The water is doing what? It's a superfood. It's doing everything. Okay? So now you got the ginger. You got all your super friends lined up. The ginger, you got the water. So now you're going to add to the super friends. Mullein, respiratory. We know this sucker COVID-19 is attacking our breathing. Respiratory. So you want to, so now 1 or 2 drops inside your what? Your ginger tea. Not a lot, because the heat is going to spread it out. Now, some people are sensitive. These come in 2 types of forms. They come in alcohol form and they come in glycerin.
Glycerin, yeah.
Right. So you know what I'm saying? Do you. Put it out there. I'm not gonna go back and forth with people. Do whatever works for you. I'm giving you that. You know what I'm saying? You already know where I'm going, right? So take 1 or 2 drops. Mullen. Okay, you can get it at vitaminshop.com, gnc.com, Whole Foods. Make no excuses. ASAP. Next, go to my Queen Mother site, queenofua.com, QUEENAFUA. My mother was an asthmatic. One of her first ailments that she got rid of when she became plant-based vegan is she got rid of her asthma. And this is a formula of the extract that she used when she was 17. That's when she made her wellness pledge, became a wellness warrior. So this is cold pressed eucalyptus and peppermint. Okay, for those that have bronchial issues, breathing issues, mucus blockage, and asthma, this is really good for that integrity. Again, they have all these extracts in children form and adults, but this is pretty universal. So 1 to 2 drops of this that I stack inside the tea. Now you can have this just as a drop under the tongue daily. Okay, if you just really want to breathe. But we're talking about COVID-19 and respiratory integrity, right? So I told you mullein, organic eucalyptus and peppermint, right? So we stack that with what? Ginger and water. All right. Pardon me, beloved. I'm trying to log onto this information while I'm talking to you. So if you see me walking away, I'm looking away.
Okay.
I'm just trying to make sure I get that. I want to get that master list for y'all. All right. So you got you.
Do you still see me? It seems like we lost him for a moment. Hopefully he can come back.
He's talking.
Let's give it one moment. Let's see. Do you see me? Okay, we're going to give Supanova Slom a chance to log back in. I think he's coming right now. He's trying to come back in. If you're just joining us, we're live, HAPI Talks. My name is Elena. I'm your host, and we're joined by Supanova Slom. Seems like there's some technical difficulties. He should be right back. We're discussing Black health and wellness during COVID-19 and beyond. I think he's back, and he's back. How you doing?
Okay. Hey, sis, listen, I apologize. Everybody seems to be calling me when I'm trying to go live with y'all.
Oh, okay.
Oh, man, that's, yeah. So, no, I just want you to know that I restore integrity for that because I guess, you can't get, I wish I can go live with you and be on airplane mode where they can't call in, but that's not happening.
That's not possible right now.
Right. Okay. So, soon come, right? Okay. Rapid immune boost. Get this. This is a good combination. This has black cypri elm. This also has echinacea and golden seal, which is an amazing stack because echinacea and golden seal actually addresses immune functionality and respiratory. Okay, so this is a good stack, right? So we got 3. Then I have something called super echinacea, which is even a more higher dose of echinacea, and I add 1 drop of that inside. Okay, the tea. So I'm adding 1 to 2 drops. You can use your discernment. I'm a little extreme, so I'll probably add 2 for everything, right? Now, we talked about the COVID-19 also is recently attacking the iron. So there are 2 things I'm going to present to you that's going to help to restore the iron integrity. The first one, y'all can log on to the supermegafoods.com and check out my concentrated proteins, okay, the chlorophyll blend, which is the super mega greens. Okay, super mega greens is good for immune functionality, okay, and it also puts the oxygen back into the bloodstream and it helps to build the iron in the hemoglobin in the blood, okay, immediately. So when we talk about something like any virus, it's going to attack the blood, it's going to attack the immune function, specifically to weaken you so it can take over. So this is something you want to add to your wellness warrior arsenal ASAP. Okay, supermegafoods.com, SUPA, megafoods.com. Discount code for you all on HAPI is super SUP20, capital super 20. Okay, so you can put 1 scoop of this inside the tea. You can have this now. You can have this also. We talk about having your water. You can have this in your water, your fruit juice, or your shake, or your tea. So you can have it in your over as a dressing and salad. So it's multifunctional, all ages, and you can deploy it ASAP. Next one is this I got from Whole Foods. It's some trace minerals. It's iron. So we talk about how COVID-19 is again attacking the iron. So you want to armor all the way up. See, I don't play with this. When you're at war, and me being definitely a combat veteran, I'm having everything with me when I'm deploying in life. So you're deploying in life now. So I want brothers and sisters to be armed up with the wellness. You can have a drop of this on your tongue, or you can add 1 drop to your tea. Okay, let that spread. Next one is olive extract. Okay, this is good for also another immune builder. Okay, so you notice this stack is focusing specifically, right, sis, on the task at hand.
Right.
So you have other soldiers that you may have. So you have your sea moss, you have your Irish moss, you have your black seed oil. I'm not saying don't take that. I'm saying use everything. Take it, but create a disciplined schedule for yourself, regimen for yourself. But a tea daily is a good central place to have this, right? So if you have a tea going, you can have about 8 ounces, 12 ounces, of tea, and you can have that going every hour. Your body's actually strong and fortified. You feel me? That way, 2 o'clock you have your tea. Another hour you may have your Irish malls. So you just have this awesome pool of wellness happening in your body at a high alkaline level. Ain't nothing can come inside you that's not good for you, right? And if it's not good for you, it's gonna leave you real quick. Because disease only binds and forms in a non-alkaline, toxic environment. It can only bond with other sickness. You know what I'm saying? So if you're already sick, it bonds with sickness in you to take over you. Look at that. So if you clean yourself up, it ain't got nowhere to stay. If come hang out, it's like an Airbnb. Gotta leave the next morning, it's out. Meanwhile, if you got sickness in you, it want to move inside you, not pay no rent. You want to keep the heat on of the immune system. Want to use all the water in your kidneys and your liver, and not pay no rent, and hang out in you, right? And then break you down, and expect you to keep working, but keep clogging you up. That's the metaphor we got to look at. If the tenant is not value to you and not paying their portion, evict the toxic tenant, so it won't have a COVID-19 party inside you. All right, olive extract. All of these things you can get for Vitamin Shop, okay, Whole Foods, GNC.com. Again, get your greens from supermegafoods.com. You can get your extract of peppermint eucalyptus from queenoffood.com. Arming you up, okay. Now we're talking about the gut. You got the colon. You got to get the colon moving. Now, all of these help with the colon because the ginger helps that. That's the root of the tea. But this is the oil of oregano, okay. 1 drop of this inside that tea. You got to have the colon health. Death and disease begins in the colon. You know what I'm saying? You got to get that. You have to be scared to use the bathroom, family. Let y'all be scared to go to the bathroom. You want to eat 3 or 4 or 5 meals and scared to go, let it go. You're not, and that's the problem. You're not letting stuff go. Why you think, so you're clogged up. You got to let the energy flow. You know what I'm saying?
And how would we know if we're clogged up? What if we're not?
If you eat 2 ways. If you eat a meal and within 45 minutes to an hour, you had not released that meal, real simple check. Litmus check. Real simple. I don't care if it's plant-based. It's probably too much carbs in it, right? It's probably too heavy. If you eat something and you're not releasing it, this is the thing. If it's well for you, it's gonna come in, give you the minerals and nutrients. It's gonna move around and it's gonna leave.
Pass on out. Yeah.
Anything for you is good. It's gonna come, charge you up, and leave. Its purpose is done. Yeah. What's not good for you over processed is gonna hang out in you, chill, and not leave. Even in plant-based stuff, because what happens is the reason why the plant-based stuff can do the same function like a processed food, if you have too much carbs and not any roughage in it, like say you just have too much black rice, right, and then beans, and then even the nuts, then you didn't soak the nuts because the nuts need to be a little softer. If you're dehydrated, the body has to now put the water inside of that just to digest it. Right. So if you eat all of that all the time and you're not even working with your body to move, have a really diverse palate and plate, you can be toxic too and backed up too. Right. So the water, if you're hydrated daily, everything is moving. It's like Grand Central Station, coming in, working, moving out, moving in, moving out. Right. That's what you want to have happen. So, beloved, that's the stack. This is the stack that I'm using daily. But now I'm going to give you a master stack. The list just came up. This is what I have in my tea. I have 4 to 5 pots of this daily. Right? Every day. When the pot's done, make another pot. Right? When you go outside your house, if you know you're going to go shopping for some toilet tissue, right? Make sure you have 3 or 4 cups in your body, right? No, to arm yourself up, warrior, so you deploy in life. When you come back home, take those street clothes off, wash them, put a new outfit on for your home. Don't bring the street energy into your home, and go do what, sis? Have another cup of tea, right? See, we wellness warriors. We arm when we deploy outside. We arm when we come back outside. See, sickness cannot live in us if we take back the integrity of our mind, body, and spirit. Now let's go to this master list. You're gonna hear some of the things I repeat over, but I want you to keep your ears keen and listen to this list. All right. So this is an example of things that you can take loose form like alcohol based, I said, or glycerin based, whatever your thing is, what you want to do. You can have these herbs in your food, in your salads. You can have them as your teas. You can have them in your smoothies. Do you? I'm gonna give you the master list. If I miss something on here, add what you have to this list. So this is what I call the wellness list in the midst of COVID-19 coronavirus. Arm yourself with holistic power. So I mentioned the super mega greens. You're gonna take this 3 times a day. Okay, this is your cellular food. It's going to restore the integrity in your bloodstream and in your immune system. 3 times a day, your mega greens. Okay.
Now, if we wanted to put that in a smoothie, could we?
You can.
Okay.
You can water, smoothie, foods. It's multi-purposeful. Okay. Elderberry. Okay, elderberry is immune function, immune system booster. But some brothers and sisters be having elderberry in the morning and Hennessy shots at night. Not going to work. You got to choose, family. I know you miss your fire water, but you got to take a little fast. Okay? Right. You've been fire watering it up. I mean, just chill out. The Hennessy ain't going nowhere. Neither is Patron. Chill out. You've been doing that. What you have not been doing is what we're talking about today, right? So you need to restore the integrity. You can't just be yo-yoing like that because you're going to leave yourself open, right? So
but does that mean that we're getting rid of all these things entirely? Because that's where the resistance comes. Because
okay, listen, but this is like this: purified dye. If you're resistant and we in a pandemic, then we'll be pouring an share lafia to you when you used to be digitally in an algorithm. You see somebody's story. Rest in peace, somebody. Rest in peace. So you want to be a rest in peace right now, or you want to live your life at the high level? See, that's what I'm saying, beloved. Wellness warriors, change your thinking. See, fire water has a function, right? It's a lot of sugar. So there you go.
Yeah.
And it's not like you're taking some cold pressed pineapple and some ginger and cayenne and you're having a small shot of Patron and you're mixing it up and doing something maybe a little sexy or homeless with it. You can do that, but you're not even doing that. You're just trying to turn up in the home and you're inside now. Yeah. Don't turn up now because your body needs to be restored to its integrity. If you decide to go back into that route, I would say do it in moderation. Because your body's hydrated before and after, right? So create a regimen, be disciplined. If you're gonna have your little fire water, your little cheat days, make sure you're hydrated all the time. Make sure you're rested. You're doing some type of physical movement. You're not sedentary. Jumping jacks, calisthenics, African dance, move your body, right? Don't eat whole food chips on the goddamn couch watching Netflix. It's not gonna work. You gotta move, okay? So you can have a little fun, but your fun has to be making you some funds, right? Working inside you to keep you motivated. Okay, elderberry. Golden seal, echinacea, okay? Vitamins A, C, and D, okay? Between 500 to 2,500 milligrams daily. Vitamins A, C, and D. Now, if you got to stand outside for 20 minutes and get some vitamin C directly from the sun, from the raw, give thanks and praise, get it. But you can also supplement with vitamin D supplement, okay? Vitamins A, C, and D. Now, the body does not produce vitamin C, so you have to get it from your berries, you get it from your lemons, your limes, your oranges, your grapefruits, right? And your milligrams. So have that. Vitamins A, C, and D. Those things right there will totally keep you on the up. Psyllium. Google it, research it. Immune function. It's antiviral. Have psyllium. 250 milligrams of psyllium daily. It'll kick that virus's ass, whatever it may be. Even the future virus trying to hang out in you. Okay. Next, mullein. We mentioned that earlier. Have that in your tea. Black seed oil 3 times a day. Okay. Ginger extract. I have mine chopped up in, the pot of tea. You can take the little small chips with your children. Y'all can just have little small chips and eat them. It's good. It's extra vitamin C. It's good for the gums. Okay. Garlic. I love garlic. It's controversial for new vegans. Some vegans don't like it. Okay, listen. Do you? I'm just putting it on the list. Okay. I love it. My grandmother's 97 years old. No cane. Walks. She takes garlic. So for you new vegans don't like garlic, hey, don't take it. Okay. But take it real small. Okay. I'm gonna put it there. I'm gonna leave it there. Aloe. Now, this is the thing about aloe. If you follow me on social media, you know that I eat the aloe. Okay, a lot of you like to put it on the skin, which is good for the, the skin is a large organ in the body, lymphatic system. It's going to nurture, right? But you got to eat it. As so inside, outside, correspondence. Okay, you got to eat it because the bitters are better. Our bodies are oversweet, even with the natural fructose. Everything's oversweet. So I think we got to look at the sweetness from a psychological point. Where in your life that you don't feel loved, that you ain't feeling like you're getting that nourishment? Because I'm telling you, we all have our moment, and I'm humble because I know there were some times I felt less, loved, and I'm overeating my little snacks. I'm a little overdoing it. Goddamn, I had three bags of these vegan nice chips or whatever. It's nice and sweet. I'm feeling all good. So we overdo it because something else is happening, right? So we need to address that. But the bitters help to balance out things, okay? Not saying you can't have nothing sweet, but you want to balance it out.
And what are some of those other bitters?
Well, you have this is not a cucumber. It's another. I'll come back to that, beloved.
Okay.
It's actually it's shaped like a cucumber. It's not a cucumber, but it's good. It's good to have in salads and it's good for teas. But I'll come back to that.
Okay.
But for starting out, you can gut out the gel and have it in your smoothies. Now I don't really do that. I have it hardcore. I eat the skin because the skin has all the nutrients concentrated inside of the skin. So I would eventually want to encourage you all to, even if it's small pieces, begin to integrate that because it helps to restore gum integrity and all the bacteria in the gums, helps to coat the esophagus for bronchial issues and the intestines. So it's really important, okay, to stop being scared of the bitters. I mean, you got a president telling you to take disinfect. I mean, come on. All right, onion, have onion, cayenne, pinch of cayenne inside the tea. Sea moss, talk about sea moss, bladderwrack, okay, seed cope, ashwagandha, reishi, cloves, cinnamon. You can have cinnamon as cinnamon tea with your kids. Don't sweeten the cinnamon. Just have it as a tea. Have it with your children. Don't put no agave, nothing. Just have it. Cinnamon has its own swag. Don't overdo the sweet. Okay. Dandelion root. It's good. It's a good reproductive herb for men and women. Okay. Dandelion root, and it's also good for the immune function. Okay. Dandelion root. Okay. Burdock root.
Yeah.
Nettle, sarsaparilla. Okay, oregano oil. We talked about that earlier. Turmeric, definitely multifunctional. Have it in your salads, have it in your soups. Have it at just a spoon and some water. You can have it in the tea. Zinc, which is akin to also vitamin C. Zinc, vitamin C stacked. You're good. Just keep that going. Now, everything I'm saying, beloved, create a world daily. What's important about this deployment of being a wellness warrior, you have to set up a daily system. This is not about a fast. This is not about losing weight. This is about, I'm going to set up a daily disciplined regimen with my herbs, my whole foods, and have my life committed to my wellness. That's what I'm talking about here. I'm not talking about some little vegan thing, little dance with the plants. I'm saying we in pandemic.
Right. Speaking of plants, we could grow some of this ourselves. Now, how do we start doing that, especially for us city dwellers living in apartments and on top of people? How would we start our own garden?
Well, I mean, you can YouTube. Some folks are actually growing indoors. I mean, I can go on and on with that. You can right now. You can Google it or YouTube. Indoor growing herbs indoor. And what things you can probably get. You know what I'm saying? Initially, with under probably $50 that you can begin to get, from light bulbs to like soil and things that will work indoors, and you can start growing your own plants. Okay. So definitely want to encourage looking into that. And there's no excuses. So whether you grow it or not, or you get your tinctures, get on your business.
Yes.
To summarize it, lemon and lime, superfood. So it's good for cleansing and expelling mucus from the body. Okay. You can use it, like I said, if you don't want lemon or lime, or you want either one, or you don't want either one, you can have ginger as a replacement. Or for me, I use all three. Okay. Daily hydration. I said it. Water. This is the time everybody's not really out like they used to be. So try to create a new sleep pattern for yourself and try to go sleep early. I'm trying to do that because sometimes I do lives late. I got things happening late. But one of my goals during this time is to maximize my sleep and recharge so I can be at my optimum health. And that, beloved, is my wellness salute to you all. Okay. And I want, but in closing, set an intention. Every time you drink, it's like a prayer, right? We say prayer for our food. We taught to say grace over your food, give thanks. Go deeper and give these greens already are gonna be on mission and purpose, Nia, when it gets inside my body. When my mind respects its purpose, it's Nia, and I give it a further charge of gratitude that I'm grateful that it's going inside doing this thing. Now it's a connection. I'm making a mental connection between when I'm eating, drinking, consuming, and my thoughts. I'm just not hungry and doing stuff. Most time you think you're hungry, you're dehydrated, really, because your body just wants some water. You think, oh, time to eat some chips. No, it's time to drink some goddamn water. Okay, so set an intention, be clear, set a charge, and watch how now you shift your thoughts around what you consume. That's why I said you lining your tinctures up as your soldiers, because you're defending your immune system. And you're not only doing it for today, you're doing it for tomorrow, because this thing is going to come in waves. This sickness is going to come in waves. Now it exposes all of us on this planet of how much we have not valued our health and wellness as a collective. And for those that already been connected, we got to go deeper.
Oh yeah, I gotta go deeper. Thank you for that. Was a life load. That was a life load.
Yes,
So
beloved.
yeah. So I'm gonna ask you one more question before we take a question or two from our audience.
Okay.
So you talk a lot about holistic health, and you talk about a lot of things that we're consuming as far as foods, but you also stress the importance of thinking about what we consume as far as thoughts, ideas, people's experiences. Why is that important?
Well, because we mentioned earlier about how you can overeat the sugar because there may be something going on in your life where you feel not nourished.
Yeah.
And why we eat anything sweet, so we can feel comfortable, we can feel connected. It makes us feel good. So there may be things in your life that you may be experiencing with interactions with people, places, and things that ain't making you feel good. And so the next thing you're gonna go to feel good is some type of something to make you feel good, which you can eat, right? Or something from your childhood that was associated with some feelings of feeling good. So even though you may be plant-based and vegan and may have gotten rid of some stuff, you may go to Big Mama's cheesecake. You know cheesecake ain't good for you. You know it's mucus forming because of the dairy, but because it made you feel good, you may be going through a divorce or a breakup or a separation or something, and you trying to get now you trying to chase the feeling, and you don't care what you got to do to get the feeling. Feel me? And so now it's all, there's no separation between church and state. Church, body, state. Holistic wellness is I am an accountable for everything inside of my interaction, body, mind, and spirit. So it's something that I put in me is either going to build me up or destroy me. My relationship to myself and others, right? My relationship, my exchange, my correspondence is either going to build me up and make me feel empowered, or this person is robbing me, just like the COVID-19, getting up in my bloodstream, my immune system. Right? So some conversation, you may have family members and community people, even fans on social media, going back and forth when I argue. That's a form of COVID-19.
Okay.
It's not like COVID-19 in human form. You got to watch it out. You got to cut it off. I had to block and delete a lot of people these days because I decided I'm too valuable to go back and forth.
Yeah.
You don't value you. You have all the tenets of a toxic disease. You are the personification of what blockage is in the body, called arthritis, asthma, hypertension. That's what people are showing up as. And so either they come in to get help, right? Brother, exchange some light into me, encourage me, or they come in to have you join into the zombie apocalypse and be one of them. And I'm not raising my hand for that.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow.
So watch your thoughts. That's why I said set an intention to your foods. Be clear. Like this is deployed to help strengthen me. You know what I'm saying? Because we have one life, right? In reincarnation is another conversation. We have one life in this presentation, right? Let's maximize it. Let's don't let nothing cut off the integrity and the ability to max out. Okay? Max out our karmic credit. Max out. Don't be leaving here trying to come back as a rabbit, a raccoon, or a giraffe talking about I'm gonna continue my next life in an incarnation. Listen, you got this body.
Yeah.
You better come make it happen now.
Right here, right now.
Let's do it. And but there are going to be certain tenets that the universe is going to respect of you to be accountable of holistically, to value yourself. So your relationships is food. Your thoughts are your food. Whatever you put inside you, make sure it's beneficial, nutritious, and helpful, because the opposite will kill you.
All right. All right. So we have a question from Naturally Super Dope. And you pretty much covered this, but maybe this is more about the pill form as far as what's the best supplements to take to boost your immune system. So you covered that, but
Mullen.
put it back on the screen. Put it back on the
Immune
screen.
boost. Mullen. Okay.
Okay.
Rapid immune boost. You can get this from Whole Foods. This is echinacea, okay, echinacea, and it's golden seal. You can check out the super mega foods. You got to get the greens. The planet is green on land and sea. You got to get your micronutrients. Besides spinach, which is awesome, and broccoli and kale, you got to get your micronutrients. Okay, so this is why the greens are very important. The chlorophyll plant proteins are very important for immune functionality. Okay.
Okay.
Three times a day for maximum discipline. If you really want to see the experience, you have to get 3 times a day in your water, in your shake, your smoothie, or in your meal fixings.
Okay. And last question from David. How do you apply this philosophy to families that have a limited budget and reasonably can't afford this lifestyle. So what are the basic things they can do? Anybody can do on a small budget.
Drink a lot of water.
Okay.
Go to the supermarket and buy every leafy green vegetable and fruit that you can find.
Yeah, because there's a lot there.
There you go.
No scarcity there.
Limited budget. There you go.
There you go. All right. Thank you so much for your wisdom, for your love, for your energy, and for being a warrior for the holistic health.
Yes.
Do you have any other information you want to share? Could you give us your websites again?
www.theremedybook.com if you want to even have some strategy around how to maximize small budgets. I talk about this in length in my book, The Remedy. For those that have a small budget but an expansive mind. So budgets is limited. You have to have your mind has to be a budget. You can have money one day, have to be wealthy the next day, right? That's not, you change your thought. Well, I don't got no money. Well, no, money's here. Okay. So I give you strategy if you have small budget, medium budget, or big budget, how you can look at holistic health. Download my book for free, theremedybook.com. Check out our micronutrients, super mega greens. And for those that are trying to keep the muscle mass and think that you can't be plant-based and vegan and be, much muscular and bigger, sisters trying to keep the thickness, brothers trying to keep their swollenness, check out our super mega protein. Okay. Non-GMO organic plant foods, superfoods at super, SUPA, mega, MGA, foods.com. Discount code super, SUP20. And then you can follow me on all social media handles, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram at super, SUPA, NOVA, SLOM. That's SUPA, NOVA, SLOM.
All right. Actually, we have another question from Kay.
Okay. Keep them coming until they shut us off.
Okay. So what about weight loss? I know you talk about you have a regimen in your book. If you could speak a little bit more about that and how it relates to losing weight.
Well, yes. If you're gonna go on a fast to lose weight, you have to cut the calories down. That's it. Real simple. Cut back your calories. And if you're plant-based and vegan, right? What are some of the high calorie foods? Well, it's going to be your nuts. That's a very high calories. You know what I'm saying? The rice is a very high calorie. That's why people say, well, I can't gain weight. Just eat a lot of rice. Sprouted rice, brown rice, mixed. You can eat quinoa. Quinoa is a protein in a carb, so you can bulk up easy on eating that stuff. Just new calories. Eat less of it. Now, if you're going to have a liquid meal, because everything you eat solid has become a liquid. Everything solid has become liquid in your body for it to digest. I would suggest, like I talk about in the book, right? So you're not losing muscle mass. The body needs daily amino acids to function, some type of protein synthesis. So that the problem with fasting for 7, 14, 21 days is that you will reach the goal of expelling weight. Let's say you just want like lemon, lime, water, right? People used to do the master cleanse, right? Yep. Good stuff. And you will actually expel. But what happens is you look drawn, you look like a zombie. And what do everybody do after the master cleanse? You know what they do? 7 days after, they yo-yo. They overeat for the 7, 14, 21 day. That's across the board. They always overeat. You know why they overeat? Mainly because they had no cellular food. They had a lemon, a lime. They had cayenne pepper. They had, it was circulatory, immune function. They had maple syrup to make it be sweet. Yeah. Water for immune function. But they had no micronutrients, no cellular food. So the body, although it was expelling, it was not rebuilding. So every day they were on that liquid concoction, they were releasing, they were letting it go. But they were doing nothing to build. Right. I go into this in detail. This is why you got to read my book. Yes. I go into its detail comparing different cleanses. So since you want to have a liquid cleanse, you got to have the micronutrients because it's the only thing that will feed you if you're going to be on a juice or liquid fast over that long period of time. Okay. These plant proteins, this concentrated blend, right? It has the amino acids. So you're going to feel full because it's going to signal to the cells that it's actually reaching its daily goal. Right. So you can just have it in some water and you're not going to feel like you have to eat anything because your body's actually going to detox, but at the same time, it's going to replenish. So you'll be able to lose weight. You're cutting down your calories, right? you're letting the heaviness go, but you're also keeping the glow because you're being fed from an oxygen level. Your oxygen in your bloodstream and your body is being fed by the micronutrients. So this is what I would suggest. You can have the same type of master cleanse, right? The same type of ingredients. Just add a scoop or two of the mega greens inside of that. So you can have the maple syrup, the lemon, the lime, the drop of the cayenne in the water, but add a micronutrient and add not just, so if some of you just have chlorella or spirulina, which is good, you can work with that, but this is all of them. This is all of them. Although this is why it's called super mega, because it's all of them combined. And the difference between this blend to plug I'm not gonna plug my own. I'm gonna plug my own.
Yes.
The difference between everybody else in this has no fillers. Every single green blend on the market, all good product. The problem is they have a bunch of fillers, meaning that after the ingredient 9, 10, 11, watch it. They all have more than 10 to 12 ingredients. Then now you're getting a less concentrated blend. It says green vibrance, but it has 27 ingredients. So how much green vibrance is actually in it? Right, my point.
Right.
So this is no false advertisement. This is super mega concentrated greens. And if you're gonna have a liquid cleanse, you need a concentrated blend that as you're expelling and letting the waste go and the weight go, you're building simultaneously. That's what I talk about in the remedy. You need to be building as you're letting go. So when you come off, you won't have to yo-yo, and you can actually make a transition easy within 3 to 5 days to slowly integrate heavy foods, cooked foods into the diet. Instead of like what people do, they eat some heavy, eat some rice, eat some beans, eat some potatoes. Oh my gosh, right? Because they fear. Oh my God, I lost it. Oh my God, right? So now you're putting the weight back on, the calories back on, right? No, so if you have the greens the whole time, you can slowly transition. You can create your own rhythm. You can say, okay, what works, what doesn't work. You can kind of integrate it back in and flow it back in. And I go into this detail in the book, The Remedy, www.theremedybook.com. I talk about how you can actually make smooth transitions, whether you're plant-based or not. I'm not judgmental, I'm not dogmatic. Even though I was born and raised, I'd like to help others where they may be at. Okay, so even though I am that, I want people to have a holistic consciousness around wellness. So I'm not just about vegan, hoorah, because a lot of vegans, sis, what they do, they have come into being vegan based upon the animals and the planet, which is an awesome thing. I just said that animals and planet, they don't leave themselves in it. See, holistic wellness says I'm responsible for me first. Then, because I love myself, I'm gonna give on to the animals and planet. See, we've been used to use ourselves out the equation. I can't be vegan based on no animal, no planet if I don't love myself. Right? No, I love me, because I love me, beloved. Now I can love the animals, right? Now I can love the planet. Feel me? It has to come from you. Goddess begins within. Tuan Ter, Hotep.
Right. And so a good question from Kay about fasting. How long should we fast?
You can fast between 5. You have to know. Okay, so what is your goal? You have to set a goal and intention. Let me tell you this. Fasting is not the cure for the end or be all. Fasting is a module system to allow you to begin the step in checks and balances. So people just want to fix all, cure all life.
Yeah.
No, you have to have a recommitment to your wellness. Okay, so generally speaking, we all should be fasting every season. Winter season, summer, spring, and fall. Now, period. Just because the body every 90 days, the body's going through a whole kind of reboot. So you want to fast to be in accordance with your own checks and balances. So you may dial back on some of the solid foods and maybe have a little more water, have a little more liquids, right? Now, if you depend upon your goal, you can do a 3-day cleanse. Just again, say, like I said, master cleanse formula, add some greens to that, and rock with that for 3 days. Just kind of talk to yourself, pray, meditate, make an accepted intention, and just have light foods. Some people, and that's it. It's a reset. Some people want a little longer. They have been disobedient. They have been bad. They have just been neglectful. They may need 5 to 7 days. Some people have been so far off. They're like, wow, they need 21 days. Yeah. And that's when you get into what my mother, Queen of Four, has the 21-day wellness fast, right? So you can work with that. Now, a fast you can balance the fast between liquid foods and raw foods. You may not have cooked, some raw foods here, some liquid foods there. In the book, The Remedy, you can see the different options I laid out. And I laid the book out in a way, again, it's not dogmatic. It's an information there for you to kind of create your rhythm and your role, right? So I don't think that you should be going on a fast no longer than 30 days. Okay, because at that point, you know, I mean, again, like the Muslims, they observe, right? But they eat, so they eat. They just don't eat at a certain time, you know.
Right.
So they fast all day, eat. So they, you know, so that's not necessarily a strict just liquid. Feel me? So that's a different modality, but it still salutes the cadence of reset. You know, because they just take a longer part of the day just to be on a liquid and then maybe a meal at night. So I'm saying that to say, family, do a mic check. You got to check on yourself. Right? Find out your goals, set your intention, and then do your research to be a supportive of your goals and your intention, and then begin your journey. But at the default set of the basic training, 4 times a year, you should be doing some type of major overhaul, cleanse, and discipline. Okay? But don't have to be fasting every freaking month to do that, because you're gonna throw your body off. You know what I mean? If you're just trying to lose weight, just cut. You have to calorie count. You gotta get disciplined. Calorie count. Popping a whole bag of almonds and you whole food, that's calories. A whole almonds have a lot of calories. It's good, right? That's why. I mean, listen. Look at me. I'm big. I'm not an anorexic vegan. I weigh 195 pounds.
And that's the next question from Andre. That's a great question, because when you think of veganism, there's a lot of misconceptions about, well, that must mean that you're malnourished. That means that you're depriving yourself, right? So the question is, how could you maintain the physique that you have on a vegan diet? So what's your regimen? What does it look like?
Okay, well, before we can get into what Supanova does, we have to let's break the misconception. Okay, what are you eating for meat? Right, you're eating a chicken, and you're eating mainly the beef.
Right.
But what is the beef eating?
Right.
Micronutrients.
Yeah.
And they're between 500 to 1,000 pounds. So let's see what the F. I'm, I love it.
I know you get this all the time.
I go all the way off.
Right.
But
Yeah.
miss me with that. Okay. Say that, because the cow in its natural habitat is grazing on the alfalfa, the dandelion, okay, and the wheatgrass, okay, in its natural habitat. That's it.
Yep.
A gorilla. I guess the person saying this is not stronger than a gorilla. I guarantee that. But what is the gorilla eating? Fruits, berries, grains, micronutrients. All right, and it's rich, and it's big, and it's fast. So most of the animals in the animal kingdom are natural herbivores, and they're way bigger than us as human beings. Human beings are adaptable. So we can be herbivores or we can be carnivores. We're adaptable. You know what I'm saying? We can adapt, but there's going to be some prices you have to pay for both systems. Now, if you are a herbivore as a human, you have to every time you eat, meet these requirements: a protein, amino acid requirement, okay, making sure you meet a vegetable fiber requirement, carbohydrate, and fat. So most vegans are deficient because they're not meeting these requirements. Some vegans are only eating the leafy vegetables and not really knowing what leafy vegetables have a tiered function, because some of them have multi-tiered functions. Like you're going to eat spinach. Spinach is going to be protein and iron, multi-tiered. Okay, so so now you got to research. Okay, what has a multi, right? So you just want some bunch of green leaves, and you're not eating carbs, which you need for the energy. You're against the carbs, right? And you're just eating leaves. Well, you're gonna look way smaller. And what if you're not getting iron? And what if you're not eating the leafy ones that actually have the most chlorophyll, which is the most protein? What if you're only eating romaine and spinach? Well, the kale is the highest concentration of chlorophyll. So what if you're against that? So the reason why vegans look mostly unattractive to the masses, I'm not gonna say they're not attractive to me, but to the masses, is because they have a deficiency in one of those areas. Now, my tribe of vegan, the bodybuilders, well, we understand the science. All we're doing is we study what the bodybuilders eat for size, how they train, what they eat, and we just swipe that out with plant-based options. Okay, so that's it. They eat more calories and they do more work, and they put their carbs to work, and they lift heavy goddamn weight. Lift with heavy weight, the muscle dies and it reborns itself, and then what are you gonna fuel it with? More times. What are you gonna do? You're gonna have more liquid meals, more solid meals. Your shake becomes a meal, not a smoothie, right? So if I'm making a shake, I'm having a cup of oats, a quarter cup of oats inside, maybe oat milk or hazelnut milk and rice milk, whatever you want to do, water, right? I'm having not 2 scoops, which is 2 grams, 2 scoops of this is 20 grams of protein. Well, if I'm trying to bulk up and be big, because I'm lifting big, that's my goal, right? It may not be a goal. I may have 4 scoops minimum per serving, 100 grams. Then I'm having not 1 avocado, which is fats, maybe 3 avocados, because I'm trying to get big. So 3 goddamn avocados. Then I may have some MTC oil inside there, or some cold pressed olive oil in there, or coconut oil in there to compound the fat. I got my fat. Now I may want to add some pumpkin seeds and some hazelnuts in there. I may want to add some almonds. More fats, more carbs, and proteins. See how that works? Plus my scoop. So now I'm ready. I may want to add some extra plant protein amino acids inside of here. So now if I'm doing that 3 times a day, right? Let's say all of that maybe let's say that's about 600 calories, and maybe say total maybe about 200 grams of protein, between 150 to 200. If I'm doing that 3 times a day, liquid and small meals, who you think is gonna get big? And I'm training heavy.
Yeah.
I'm talking about 300 pounds. And I'm fueling with plants. What are you talking about? You can't get big. It's too easy. If you don't believe me, go on my page and look at the goddamn weight I'm lifting up with no goddamn meat or dairy. Like the African gorilla. Too easy. No excuses. So if you are a meat eater, the problem becomes because you don't have the lactic acid inside your jaws to actually, when you eat flesh, the moment it comes in contact with an animal that is built for that, its molars, its fangs, it's chewing it up, its acid, its tongue, before it gets to the esophagus, it's already disintegrated. It's liquid going down. And then when it goes down, the acids in the stomach are crushing it. The bones, it's not being pretty. It's not washing it. It's not making sure it's disinfected. It's not bleaching it. It's jumping on a hyena and eating it and going, ah. So you're not you a wannabe meat eater, because you're not real like them. You can't rip into a flesh and just do that. You don't do that. You prepare your meals. So the problem with it is that because of the shapes and sizes of our intestines, it's larger. So it has a long way to move to be digested, because we don't have those acids to break down the flesh.
Right.
The colons and the stomachs of these animals are shorter. So they got all the acid in the mouth, acid in the colon, right? It's out and it's excreted. So they get the benefit. It takes a long time, and then it's processed, and then it's chemicals, right, inside that meat, right? So we have just the chemicals, the process, and then we not hydrating. Then we have meat. Look, then we have the meats that are fried, so there's no water inside. We took all the nutrients out. It's not like it's free range organic. Took all the right, and then we're not having no water. Then we having our meat dinner with some sugar water called soda, right? So you see what this is, and you do that for, beloved, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, and you think you ain't got no problems? Yeah, you may have muscles and size, but you're gonna have some goddamn problems. Right. So what I'm saying, for the meat eaters, in order to thrive, you have to be more plant-based. You have to, even if you eat meat, you gotta eat meat wise now. You gotta, if you want to be here long term and not have no cardiovascular issues, because of the saturated fats inside of the meat. So us plant-based big gorilla vegans, well, we know how to eat more calories. Yeah. And sisters who want to keep the thickness and the shape, eat some more goddamn red potatoes and yams. And some goddamn avocados every day.
I love it.
It's gonna go to the thick, it's gonna go to that, it's gonna go to your wiggles and your jiggles in that pear shape. Okay, or maybe avocado. Make intention. May this avocado go to my ass, and it will go there. Give it an assignment. Eat your red potatoes. Let's stop bringing fear to this wellness. Stop bringing fear and the boogeyman to it. We have a president, beloved, that's telling us to take disinfected agents for COVID-19. Let's stop putting fear. So in my book, The Remedy, I'm just keeping it light with you on fun, because we have to do that, because people make things so dogmatic and scared. If you want more of what I'm saying about weight gain and do it plant-based, You can watch my IGTVs on Instagram. I have a whole bunch building on them, right? And you can read my book, The Remedy, to get more strategies on how to use plant-based foods. And even in my book, if you are a meat eater, I encourage you to drink more water, have more greens. You know what I'm saying? And eventually, having more alkaline organic foods, you start to move away from a lot of that processed stuff, right? Or you probably eat less meat. And meat, if you're meat eater, it should be a garnish, not the main thing, because you can get your amino acids and your proteins from all the abundance of fruits and vegetables and grains, right? And that's what even the meat is. I want you to start thinking more abundant, because we live on an abundant planet. Don't be limited. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't have to be limited. Don't make excuse because you think that's what you were taught. Unfortunately, the vegans you ran into, they're just not the best representatives. They may have been doing the right thing, but initially making a step. But a lot of vegans don't keep the balance, don't keep the micronutrients, don't keep the healthy fats going, the proteins. They just do it. And you know why? Because a lot of them get into these cleanses. They just every time I look up, they're doing another cleanse, another challenge. And you're like, well, what are you building up with? That's why they're looking jacked up. But their bodies be so taxed from detoxing. Body be like, oh, another detox, right? Because they don't respect the detox schedule. They just detoxing every month. It don't work like that, right? So you got to get disciplined in that. And unfortunately, those vegans got the platforms, they got the dip contracts, and they be on a world tour with Muhammad, my man, and everybody looking like, I ain't want to look like them, right? So look at your brother, okay? Stop looking at them, because they not popping like that, okay? Let's look at others out here that are showing y'all some positive examples and meeting you where you are and encouraging where you may be, whether you're vegan or not. Let's encourage you where you need to be. Do I wish everybody's vegan? Yes, I wish that for the planet, for the animals, and for ourselves, but I know that's not practical. So all I can really be doing is be a holistic practitioner and to encourage family to see the benefit of abundant thinking and using the plants, herbs, and foods as medicines to help us know thyself.
Wow. And with that, you have it, brother Supanova Slom. Thank you so very, very, very much for being here with us. You gave it all. You laid it all out for us. All we have to do is do it.
Activate. Wellness warriors, get active.
Let's get it. Yes. All right. And thank you, viewers, for tuning in. Please be sure to like this video and subscribe to YouTube and like us on Facebook and Instagram. Join our newsletter by visiting our website at hapifilm.com. I want to give a shout out to some of our HAPI team members. We have Nakasa, we have Seed and Family, Tahuti Films, Focus Films, Amnan Ra, Letitia, Emmanuel, Seattle Give, Bar, Aquarius, Carmen, Nicole, forgive me if I'm not pronouncing your name correctly. Andre, Love, Dr. Tribe 7, Nakasa, if I already said it, Curtis, King Simon, Patrice, whoever else, everybody who's here, thank you for being here, sharing the love. We have a very exciting announcement. Please join us next Thursday at 7 p.m. for our live discussion with Dr. Patricia Newton. She will be discussing with us the demand for strong Black families, cooperative units, and the call for more Black babies. Thank you again for joining us. My name is Elena. Peace.